Hello everybody, my name is Colin, welcome back to another video. Today in this one is going to be another tier list video, and in this one it's going to be my meta staples tier list for the July 2025 NAWCQ format. Yes, the NAWCQ is happening next week, so every duelist that is going to this event is probably preparing super hard, and that's very much including myself, to try to do well for this tournament. And they're probably going to be considering a lot of, meta staples to include in their deck, and that's what this video is going to try to help out, kind of give you an idea on what duelists are trying to, what are the better options, what are the worst options going into this NAWCQ format. This is also post-Duelist Alliance, so you have to include, like, Lunalight's going to be in this as a newer deck. Same thing with Vanquish Wolf with their new support. Even, like, Stun gets some good support out of Duelist Advance as well. But, I'm going to do enough talking there. We have a lot of cards to talk about today, so I'm going to try to just get through it as fast as possible. So without further ado, let's get into the tier list, shall we? So we have our tiers of most main decks, some main decks, most side decks, some side decks, and niche as well. So without further ado, let's get into the tier list. So we're going to start off with the Charmy cards. Obviously, Fua will probably going to be in most main decks. This is just our maxi replacement for the TCG right now. So yeah, you have to most main deck the Fua Rust. Maybe like in game 2s and game 3s, it gets, maybe sided out depending on what the matchup, like Lab or something like that. But I think for 95% of the format, you're always going to main deck this. You're never going to take this out unless you're going first, because this card's absolutely terrible going first. But yeah, you absolutely have to main deck this. This is one of the best going second cards in the game right now. So, a lot of people might think this gives you the best choice or best option when going second as well. So you're absolutely going to see this, everyone main decking this card. Pirellia, I'm not going to put in most main decks. It's getting there. It really is. But I'm gonna keep in some main decks as well. A lot of people are just main decking Charmies now and just going for like a more board breaker approach. Just like, give me a shit ton of cards off the Charmies and I'll just break your field off of those cards. So a lot of people are on the main deck Pirellia as well. I still don't think it's as necessary. Like, if you find me playing, you'll probably see me side decking this card. But this is in some main decks right now. I don't want to put it in most main decks, but there are some main decks that are very much playing Pirellia in the main deck as well, especially with Lunalight in the format, or not Lunalight, sorry, Vanquish Soul in the format. This also hurts Vanquish Soul a lot as well. So this is for sure in some main decks. I think this is a Charmy card you do have to have. And the Meows, you'll probably find this in most side decks as well. This is just for the Malice matchup. Like, the Lunalight stuff actually somewhat specials back from the graveyard as well, with like Yellow Martin and stuff like that, and Tiger bringing stuff back from the graveyard as well, so you can get a couple draws off of the Meows with this as well. But obviously this is for the Malice matchup as well, even like Fiendsmith it hits as well. So you'll probably see this in most side decks as well. The Charmy cards, they're everywhere right now in this format. You have to play, I think you have to play at least 2 of them. Now, maybe you don't have to go crazy and go all 3, but you at least have to play 2 of these Charmy cards, unfortunately. Ash Blossom, you'll see this most main deck, not because it's a good card, but because it stops the Charmy cards. That's literally it. That's the reason why it's in here. Again, I don't think Ash is as powerful as people think it is, but it is enough to stop the Charmy cards, so I think you do have to play the Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring, unfortunately. Spooky Dogwood, I'm sorry, I'm putting you in niche. Like, a lot of the times I put this in some side decks for, like, because a lot of people just are scared of time. I'm putting this in niche. I don't think this card is as necessary. I think, honestly, I don't think time is that much of a problem right now. I don't know, maybe it's just me. I never really go into time that much anymore, so I never really have to worry about, oh, I need to have a burn card or something like that. So even though I sometimes put this in some decks, today I'm putting it in niche. I'm being a little bit more critical of cards. So yeah, I'm putting this in niche today. Alrighty. Ghost Bell and Haunted Mansion. So this is a little bit of a weird one. I think people are on, Ghost Bell, maybe like Vanquish Soul, because it is an Earth monster for you to reveal. It's not terrible in this format. There's like Mitsurugi you can hit with this card. There's Malice you can hit with this card. Lunalight you can technically hit with this card as well. But would you put it over other hand traps? I think you would. Like, yeah, I think Ghost Bell can be an inclusion in some main decks, especially since Vanquish Soul's in the format. I think it's deserving to put in some main decks, because it is an Earth hand trap that you can just play in Vanquish Soul that is actually not that bad in this format either. So I'm going to put it in some main decks. Ghost Org and Snow Rabbit. I'm sorry, I'm putting you in niche. I put this in the last one as niche as well. I just don't think it's that good, this format. Like, it was good in the past because, you know, Duo Drive, you know, you can still hit Duo Drive as well right now. Blue Eyes, it was a lot less representative right now as well. Like, maybe you can argue against Lunalight, like hitting the Tiger or hitting the Wolf. It's not terrible to hit, but I don't know. I don't like the idea of this card. I think there's better hand traps than this. So I'm going to put this in niche. You wouldn't side deck this card either. This is a card you either main deck or you just don't play. And I just don't think you play it, unfortunately. I don't think it's that necessarily a good of a card right now. Ghost Reaper and Winter Cherries. I mean, if you're scared enough of the new Lunalight fusion and you just want to just have an like a going second out, which isn't a kaiju or something like that, I think you probably might see this in some side decks. I don't know. I still think it's niche. That's like the only card I can really think of that this card would be played for, is for exactly the Lunalight, the new unaffected guy that's just Nassel to out. So I think you'll probably see this. You won't see, I don't think Reapers is enough to warrant playing just because there's one extra deck card people are scared of. There's also still plenty of other outs to that card besides just playing Ghost Reapers. Right now, Effect Veiler. I don't like Effect Veiler. I'm gonna be honest with you. I really don't. I want to put this lower. But again, this is not a card you would side deck like ever. You either main deck it or you just don't play it. That's just how it is. Right, I'm going to put it in some main decks. This is very much the bottom of some main decks, though. Veiler fucking sucks. I really don't like Veiler. This only is good in Blue Eyes because Blue Eyes can search it. And that's it. That's legit it. Yeah, I really want to put it in niche. I don't want to put it in niche either because it is like solid hand trap. It's way better than these three hand traps, right? So, and it does see some play, but I also don't think it's the greatest hand trap in the universe either. For Infinite Impermanence is also really bad this format. I really don't think Imperm is that good in this format either. This is usually a card I put in most main decks, but I just honestly don't think this card is that good in this format. I really don't. So I'm actually going to put this, it's better than Veiler. I will say that. It is better than Veiler just because it plays around like the talents cards and stuff like that. Also can be used going second, so if you draw it for turn, you can still use it, unlike Veiler. But I still think these cards are not the greatest in the universe right now. Droll and Lockbird. Obviously, this is going to be in most main decks. This actually shuts down a lot of the format right now. A lot of people are asking for this card to be banned, which I'm not one of those people. I think I'm one of the minority people that think Droll is actually fine, but Droll is still being played everywhere. You're going to see this in most main decks. It's a really good card that you do. Unfortunately, I think you do have to play. Nibiru the Primal Being. I don't know about this card. I really don't. This is one of those cards like if they're not playing around it, it's one of the best hand traps in the game, but a lot of people are playing around this fucking card right now. So I'm going to put this in some main decks. I'm going to put this above these fuckers of Impermanent Veiler. I'm going to put this like there. But again, I still don't, I think there's better hand traps than Nibiru right now. But yeah, I just like, Nibiru is like one of those weird cards. Sometimes when it goes off, you should win the game. But sometimes when they're playing around it, it doesn't fucking do anything. That's just how Nibiru feels sometimes. Dimension Shifter. This is always a some main deck card. If you're going to play it, you're going to main deck this. Vanquish Soul can main deck this card. Malice can main deck this card. Oops, sorry, didn't mean to put that down there. So this always deserves to be in some main decks. I think it's going to be above here, like above Veiler and Imperm, but like not above any of these cards. Gamma and Delta, I'm going to put in niche. I just don't think they're really the greatest in the format right now. I'm not going to lie with you. Again, just because you have to play the Brick and Driver, and Gamma is the best hand trap, but it's at 1, and Delta like can negate a spell, but you'd much rather negate the monster, right? But I think this is just niche. Herald of the Orange Light, there's not a good fairy deck. I'm sorry. This card's this is insane. It's a really insane hand trap. There's not a good fairy deck right now, so unfortunately you just can't play this card. Artifact Lancia, sorry, you're in most side decks. Like, this stops Malice, which is very important, and also has an out to Lunalight as well, because a lot of the times how Lunalight is fusion summoning is by banishing. So Lancia also hits that by technicality. They can still play around it by technicality, but it does make it where they have to play a weirder line. So most side decks for Lancia, it's for the Malice matchup more likely, and yeah, you're going to see this in pretty much every side deck is Artifact Lancia. Also, people are going for its head on the next ban list as well. Don't know if they're actually going to do that. Chaos Hunter. I'm going to put this more on most or some side decks. You might see some people just scared enough of Malice where they're like, nah, I need to have the Lancia, the Chaos Hunter out, because it's technically like the cheaper version of Meows as well. It's like if you play, the top players might be just playing Meows and Lancia, and while the players that, you know, more on a budget might be on Lancia and Chaos Hunter. So I think you'll see this in some side decks. The Bestials, I think, are really insane this format. I actually am going to put this up here. I think the Bestials are really, 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 really good, especially since Lunalight's in the format now, which is a dark, you know, based deck. It can hit the Mitsurugi stuff. Even against Malice, it has some applications against as well. You wouldn't think it would, but it does have some applications against Malice as well. I think the Bestials are really good in this format, so I think you will see this in some main decks for sure. Not probably most main decks, but you'll see this in some main decks for sure. DD Crow is a weird hand trap that is being played right now. Just because, you know, it still hits, it's like the idea of the Bestials, but you can hit a little bit more stuff that isn't like light or dark, right? You can hit like in Mitsurugi, you can add, when they try to add back the ritual off of Kusanji, you can just DD Crow it and never have to worry about fucking getting the ritual spell. I mean, yeah, you'd still have to worry about it, but you make it where you only have the one ritual summon, which is really good because a lot of time their first ritual summon is Sabikiri, so you prevent the Murakumo summon, right? So I think DD Crow is not that bad. I don't know if it's main deck worthy, though. That's like the thing, right? Is it main deck worthy over like the Bestials and Ghost Spells and shit like that? I'm gonna put it there just because people are trying it. So I'm gonna put it in some main decks. I think like there. Probably like there, actually. I'm gonna put it like that. Token collector, niche. No one's creating tokens right now. Impulse. This is getting very close to fucking most main decks right now because a lot of decks can play Impulse right now. But I'm gonna keep it in some main decks just because, you know, not every deck can take advantage of Impulse. But I'm very much putting it up here. I'm gonna put it like above Ghost Spell, like right here. Like right there. That's where Dominance Impulse deserves to be. It's one of the better hand traps in the format. You know, a lot of the decks in this format can take advantage of it. And it's a really good hand trap. So yeah, it deserves to be there. Dominance Purge is kind of the same idea, but not as many decks can take advantage of it as Impulse can. It's a little bit worse than Impulse as well, in my opinion. I'm going to put it like there. There. I'm going to put it there. I think it's better than Valor, but I think Imperm is probably better than Purge, yeah. Songs of the Dominators. Again, there just isn't a deck that can quite take advantage of this card just yet. I'm going to put it in niche, but it does have the potential to be way up here as well. But right now, there just isn't a deck that can take advantage of it because the restriction is a little rough on it. Rescue Ace Impulse. I think this only matters if you're playing exactly Vanquish Soul. Besides that, you're not playing this card. Also, the Charmies exist, so I'm sorry I'm putting you in niche as well. Phantasme, maybe in some side decks. It's there. It's seeing some play, but I don't think it's going to be in most side decks. You'll probably see it in some side decks for sure. Singularity Fiend, it's niche right now. I think it has the potential in the future to become something, but it's just niche right now. Contact C, I'm sorry, there's just so many generic links right now, like SP, IP, and stuff like that that's being played, that I think this is just niche. Marionette Might, and any card that's like Marionette Might, fuck that card, it's terrible, it's niche. Cross out Designator. This is a little bit of a weird one. I want to put this in like some main decks or most side decks. I don't know. I don't know how to do this. A lot of people are either just like, the problem is it's that one. That is the problem with Cross Out Designator right now. So I think if you play it, you have to main deck it. So I think it's like up here when it comes to playability. I'm going to put it like there. Yeah, I want to put it there. Let me make sure my camera's not blocking stuff off. It is not. Okay, cool. Called by the Grave. This is probably in most main decks, just because it can stop pretty much any hand trap. It can stop the Charmy cards, which is very important as well. And you don't have to play the brick like Crossout you have to. Like in Game 2s and Game 3s, sure, Crossout might be good, but it's at 1, and you have to keep in like a brick Charmy, right? That's going first, doesn't do anything. Well, Call by, you don't need the brick, right? So you're perfectly fine with the Call by being the most main decks. Sales Ban probably will be in most side decks as well. Maybe, you know, you can think of decks that probably won't play it, but like a lot of people are going to be on most in most side decks, especially because the Lunalight, the new Lunalight fusion is out. The Leo Dancer, is it Liger Dancer? I forgot what it's called. But a lot of people are going to be scared of that card, and this technically isn't out because it makes your opponent not be able to activate it. So you just never have to worry about the board wipe. And you're like, okay, now I'll just use the rest of my turn to try to out this card as well. Triple Tactic Talents is in like the same category as It's not probably going to be in most main decks. Yeah, it's probably going to be in some main decks. I'm going to put it like up here, maybe above Ghost Bell as well. Yeah, I think that's probably a perfect enough inclusion where it's at. Triple Tactic Thrust is always just a side deck card. In formats, it's also, you know, just when you know you're going like first, you can just like put in the Floodgates, and going second, you can put in like the talents and stuff like that. But in game ones, they're not the greatest in the world. Fenrir, again, as a Castria engine, I think this is fine enough for main deck, but as Fenrir by itself, I wouldn't not include in main decks. I'd be like mostly in niche, actually, just because Fenrir by itself doesn't necessarily do that much. But as an engine, if you're playing it with like Unicorn and, you know, playing that type of engine, then I do believe that's going to be in some main decks for sure. I am going to be a little bit more hypocritical though, or hypocritical, sorry, I'm going to be more critical, sorry, that's what I meant to be. I'm going to put this in niche. I'm going to count this as just Fenrir by itself. Fenrir by itself, I don't think is good enough anymore, so I'm going to put that in niche. So if you're playing it as the engine with Unicorn and stuff like that, yes, I think that's going to be in some main decks, but Fenrir by itself is just not good enough, so I'm going to put it in niche. Pankratops, kind of the same idea as well. Lava Golem, so the Kaiju cards, I think deserve to be in some side decks, because I think people are going to be scared enough of the Liger or Leo Dancer, whatever. I think it's called Liger Dancer. Liger Dancer, that they just want to have an out to it. Golem's an out to it. The Kaiju, probably going to be more of an out. Lava Golems for decks that just don't need their normal summon. You can out like 2 cards, like a Buguska and a Liger Dancer, which is cool. But the Kaiju is also there as well. I think you'll probably see this in some side decks just because people are scared enough of the Liger Dancer. But Kurikara, I still think you are niche because you have to play into the card, which is something you don't want to do, right? So I think this is very much niche. The book cards, yeah, like Book of Eclipse is probably maybe some side decks, and then Book of Moon, probably the same situation as well. I'm not going to put it in niche because you can think of some scenarios where they're good against like Rise or something like that, but I don't think they're like necessarily the greatest in the world. Forbidden Droplet, main deck this card. I will die on this hill. Fucking main deck this card. Main deck this card. Droplet is so good in this format. Please, for the love of God, I'm probably like the only person that's on this right now, but goddamn do I love Droplet in this format right now. Droplet's one of my favorite cards though, so, you know, a little bit biased here, but I think Droplet's insane in this format. Should be in some main decks for sure, and on the upper echelons of some main decks as well. Dark Ruler No More, maybe some side decks. I don't think it's necessarily the greatest in the world. Super Polymerization, I think, kind of fell off. I think it did kind of fall off. I think you might see it in some side decks still, maybe like there, but it did fall off. I was super hyper focused on this in the last format, but I don't think in this format it's necessarily the greatest because Vanquish Soul doesn't really have an attribute it plays into, and then Lunalight, the unaffected dude, can't be outed by Super Poly, so that doesn't necessarily matter. Ultimate Slayer is cool. I don't think you're going to see it in most side decks though. I think it's just kind of a down here kind of thing. Guardian Slicer, cool little idea. I do like the card. I think it's going to be more up here, maybe like there. But not every deck can take advantage of Guardian Slicer. Metaltronus, we're kind of in a, you know, wider format. There's a lot more decks in this format compared to when this card was being played. It was just Rizal and Mouse. While in this format, you have to worry about a lot more stuff. So I think this is actually in niche. That feels weird to say. I'm going to put it like up here. It's still a very good card. It's just, this is not the format for it. Herald of the Abyss, I think people are going to be scared enough that people are going to play this fucking dumbass card, even though I think it's terrible. Mind Control, I think these Change of Heart cards, so Snatch Steal, Mind Control, and all that stuff, terrible. I think they're just not good in this format. Econ, I think is a little bit better, just because it tributes, so it can trigger the Mitsurugi stuff. So that's legit it. But I'm going to put it in the bottom of some side decks. Regeki isn't the greatest. Dark Hole isn't the greatest. Cosmic, maybe in some side decks like there. Lightning Storm Feather Duster, I think belongs in most side decks just because Stun exists. I'm sorry, Stun is now a fucking deck, right? Because fucking the Morganite, the new Morganite, and the new girl that can search the Morganite card it's just going to be annoying as fuck. People are going to be like on the vanities and shit. Like, I think you do have to have some sort of out to that. And Feather Dust or Lightning Storm is technically an out, especially with like Thrust as well. I don't know if Thrust matters that much in that matchup, but you want to have the Feather Dust or Lightning Storm to have outs to that as well. Evenly matches, technically, you know, it's not the greatest in the world. I think Feather Dust or Lightning Storm is better. I would still put this in some side decks, like up there, probably. D-Barrier, I think, goes in most side decks as well. The fact that this card is still legal is fucking annoying. Please ban this fucking card. Daruma Cannon, niche, unless you're playing exactly Lab. DDG, you might see in some side decks. I'm going to put it like there. No, I'm going to put it there. Like there. Yeah. Solemn Judgment. Like the Solemn card. So Strike, Judgment, they were being played a lot. Are they going to get played in this format, however? Yeah, I think so. I think you see Strike and Judgment in most side decks. Maybe not like both of them together, but like one or the other you play together. Like one, like either 3 Judgment or 3 Strike, not both of them together. I can see that in most side decks. Warning though, I think you're actually niche. I think a lot of people tried you. You're just not the greatest right now. Anti-Spell Fragrance. Fucking goddamn, I forgot this card is still legal. Anti-Spell, please. This is going to be in some side decks for sure. It's going to be like, it's a Floodgate, so it's going to be like here. Same thing with Skill Drain, if you could play Skill Drain. Tikaboo is going to be played because Vanquish Soul fucking exists now, which is going to be annoying as fuck. Rivalry and Gozu Match is probably the worst one out of the bunch. Where did Gozu Match go? There it goes. If I need to rank them, I'd put Anti-Spell here, Tikaboo, Skill Drain, Rivalry, Gozu. There you go. Probably put it like that. Maybe goes in a little, no, they're probably in the same echelon there. So yeah, that is it there. This is my tier list. So for most main decks, you are on Fua, Ash, Droll, and Called by the Grave. I think that's pretty standard. Some main decks, Parelia, the Bestial, Dominus Impulse, Forbidden Droplet, Triple Tactic Balance, Ghost Bell, Nibiru, the Primal Being, Shifter, DD Crow, Imperm, Crossout, Dominus Purge, and Effect Veiler being the worst one of the list, but I think deserves to be there, unfortunately. For most side decks, you have Meowls, Artifact Lancia, Sales Band, Triple Tactic Thrust, Feather Duster, Lightning Storms, Dimensional Barrier, Judgment, and Strike. For some side decks, you'll have Chaos Hunter, Phantasme, DDG, Kaiju, Lava Golem, just because, you know, Liger Dancer exists, Anti-Spell, Tikaboo, Skill Drain, Rivalry, goes in just, you know, the one Floodgates that you get, but it's still Floodgates, so if you draw it, you probably win the game. Herald of the Abyss, Gordian Slicer, Evenly Matched, the Ultimate Slayer, Super Poly, Cosmic Cyclone, Dark Ruler No More, the Book cards, Book of Eclipse and Book of Moon, and Econ in some side decks, and in niche, Metal Tronus. I know you're a better card than this, but I don't think this is the correct format for this. Spooky Dogwood, Ghost Organ, Snow Rabbit, Reapers, Gamma, Delta, Herald of the Orange Light, Token Collector, Songs of the Dominators. There's not a deck that can take advantage of you just yet. Maybe Stun can take advantage of you, but that's the only deck that can do it. Rescue Ace Impulse, just because Charmies exist now. What the fuck is this card called? Singularity Fiend. It's just not for this format. I think this has potential in the future to do something. It's just not it right now. Contact C, Marionette Might, the Castria, Fenrir by itself. Just Fenrir by itself, I don't think it's good anymore. But if you're playing like the Unicorn Engine, then it's probably a little bit higher. But I'm just counting this as just Fenrir. Pinkertops, same idea. Kurikara just is worse than the Kaijus because you have to play into the Liger Dancer, and you don't want to play into the Liger Dancer. And then Mind Control, Change of Heart, Snatch Steal. I think the Change of Heart cards are terrible. Regeki Dark Hole is like okay, but I don't think it's necessarily the greatest anymore. Daruma and Solemn Warning as well. So that is my... Oh my god, let me try to center this. There we go. So that is my tier list. Oh, I'm blocking it off, actually. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a like, subscribe, more content on the channel. And I hope to see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.